So yesterday we were working on the classical track. I'm going to call it either sophisticated Bach or sophisticated Beethoven. Maybe the piece sounds more like Bach. I don't know. I'm debating. It probably is more Bach-like. So I wanted to also let you guys know, you heard how uncomfortable the beat was behind the track. Now that we've gotten the right hand and the left hand sort of together on an idea, you can now advance the piece. And I put it back to 95 tempo, BPM, as you would call it in modern context. And I advanced the song. Now that it's advancing a little bit more, I can identify what it is. So D minor. Okay, so that has a very, that's what's going on in this piece. This is what I'm thinking. It does sound very similar to a classical piece. It takes a few minutes to identify and think about a composition. Once again, going back into the classical, let's do D minor again. D major. Okay. Intervals of fourth. Okay, that's just the beginning of a composition. I mean, I don't know if people are wanting to learn, if you guys are wanting to learn classical, but classical is a good place to start. I'm trying not to use actual songs because I don't know how YouTube is going to react. It's better if I do my own compositions and talk about it, which is why I'm doing it this way. Okay, so let's try it again. Let me just put the tempo on. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3. The tempo is as vital to a piece as the actual composition. If you don't have the tempo right, if you don't understand beats per minute, if you don't understand what the time signature is, this is where the crucial information falls into place, and you can definitely tell if a person understands this stuff or not. Those are ideas right now. That was not supposed to be the final. You have to remember, a song could take months to create, and classical music probably took even longer than pieces that were constructed relatively recently. Classical music could take up to years. That's close enough. Okay, so now it's time to record it, right? Okay, so let's try it again. And then it's not separate hands like I did earlier. We're now advancing the piece and we're expanding on the idea. And I added an extra thing. So you do have to, sometimes you need to re-record a couple of times before you get the final track, if you know what I mean. Okay. Okay, let's hear it. I think I just missed the ending there, but let's try it again. It's slightly off, but we could work with it. Okay. Okay. Okay, so anyway, so. So it should go up, okay. That's like. Okay. Okay, so anyway, so. Now we're gonna record it, okay. Okay, so now the next thing I should talk about in music theory are crescendos and decrescendos, louds and softs, pianos, pianissimos, fortes, and fortissimos. Because when you're trying to express yourself in classical music, for instance, we're going to use this as the example, you can clearly hear where you should get louder and softer. In my case, I've made a lot of accented staccatos with a lot of fortissimos, which means it's super loud in certain sections and they shouldn't actually be. So I'll be going back and adjusting that eventually, probably later on. But just to show you how to come up with a vision, write it down. I used the GarageBand to write down my music. If you can't write it down, I mean, back in the day they used to write music down. Jot it down on the computer, have your software ready, and use that as your go-to. Go back and redo it again. Once you get both hands together, or if you're playing guitars, get the chord sections together and redo it. It takes many, many tries to get this right. Make no mistake, this is a long process. So I'm going to have you listen to it one more time. You can definitely hear there are parts here that need to be adjusted. I think I hit the keyboard a little too much in certain sections, but let's listen to it anyway, okay? It's right there. Okay, so there are always corrections you can do. That might be the next part tomorrow. I'll come back to this tomorrow for you guys. So I guess, I'll continue working on this. I must also get my Spotify together, but since you guys a lot of people seem to like classical music, this is a good way to assess it. And we can even take a look at the notes. Let's look at the music notes and see what they look like. Let's look at the score music. Ooh, 16th notes, triplets. 16th rests, 8th rests, staccatos, sharps, and flats. It's a very simple piece. My goodness, guys. Well, if you guys want to learn this piece, I can definitely give you guys the parts now. I could probably find a way of making this an example. And I have been known to use compositions as examples for experimental ideas with students in the past. But you can clearly see there's sheet music here. Let's see the flute. Let's see. And the flute has also, and flute is just treble clef. And you can probably have a singer sing it. Yeah, so there are many, many things you can do here. There's the sheet music to the actual composition, and you don't have to write it down, folks. It is pre-written for you. How cool is that? How many measures do we have here? 1, 2, 3. And all the measures are correct. So they even wrote down the measures. Yeah, very cool. When you try to repeat, though, there's no repeat on here. So what one would have to do is use the parts and just use that as a repeat section. Okay, so that's the class for today, or the video for today. Like and subscribe. Leave a message underneath if you have any questions. If you're curious to know more information, this is I guess it's a combination of a theory and a composition class today. And theory and composition video today. It's not really a class in theory. It's a composition video. I mean, sort of a class. I suppose it's sort of a class, right? I'm giving you guys a little lesson on music theory through the whole process. And we'll go into the more accented stuff, but make sure to know a little bit about timing. Timing matters. Timing is so important because if you, as you heard at the beginning, if you don't have the timing right, then the song will be a disastrous example. So timing becomes a crucial element of education in music too. Okay, talk to you guys soon, and I will speak to you in the next one.